Shalom, my brothers and sisters. Shalom. And welcome. My name is Symmanayah. Today is August 10th, 2013. And if you are listening to this, that means you are alive, breathing, have a heartbeat, a sound mind, functional limbs or a functional limb. This is a special notice, words to Yashar'al, nation of believers. And if you're tuning in for the first time to anything that I've presented, you will come to know that Yashar'al, of whom I refer these messages to, are my brothers and my sisters, my family, are those who seek to worship and obey Almighty Yahuwah, are those who accept Yahusha as Mashyach, as our Messiah. These are my brothers and sisters. This is my family, of whom this message is directed. Today is August 10th, 2013, and we are experiencing all types of messages regarding end times, last days. We are experiencing many who seek to interpret and understand what is to come. My brothers and sisters, I was praying, and I was compelled to put this special notice up regarding the end of days. In the event of an emergency, if and only if, these are the labels I've placed on this special notice. Let me repeat again, regarding end of days. In the event of an emergency, if and only if. With that said, let me get into this message. I want to first inform you that I am aware that there are many who profess to interpret prophecy. There have been many who attempted to discover exact dates. We have also been bombarded with those who echo doomsday sentiments and catastrophic events. I may be included in that list. I have taken the posture of using humbling events to describe what will and is to come. To the non-believer in or those who are clueless, blind, or just plain neglecting the signs of the time, the description of these events when they come may differ. Catastrophes, chaos, turmoil, civil unrest, economic collapse, wars, and much more will increase and intensify in the coming future. Many believers, along with non-believers, believe there will be phenomenal things occurring in these last days. There are also those who are planning and those who do not have a concern in the world, as well as individuals who could be described as in the middle. Can we acknowledge that as believers who seek to worship and obey the Most High Yahuwah and accept Yahusha as our Mashyach, our Messiah, that He will provide living instructions and guidance? Who has discerned that there will be some among us who will be asleep, dead? Some will become martyrs. Others may be in the number of believers gathered to fulfill other scriptures. There will be those who will ignore the living instructions and guidance from above, and there will be the self-directed with prescribed directions. While it will be a challenge to determine who is right and who is rebellious, please note the Most High is not slack concerning His plan for us. If you are one who reads scriptures, there are some facts mentioned to consider regarding end of days. 1. An increase in famine. Yes, there will be an increase in famine, a major food shortage, wars and rumors of war, the emergence of a world government, the mark of the beast, the rise of the anti-Messiah, plagues, disease, and pestilence will increase. There will be earthquakes throughout the planet. There will be signs from the heavens. 2 witnesses mentioned in Revelation will emerge. The countdown for the return of the Mashyach, the Messiah, Yahushua, will become clearer. Yes, these are some things, some facts that we would probably agree that's going to occur as we move closer towards the fulfillment of Scripture. Come, review some things to consider in the event of obvious prophetic events regarding the New World Government. Consider these facts. We need fresh air, fresh water, and food to survive, practically speaking. But know this, as it is written, man lives by every word that proceeds from the mouth of Almighty Yahuwah. Next, shelter is considered by many as an important part towards our survival. But remember, my brothers and sisters, remember the scriptures that speak on what occurs if a house is divided against itself. If we come together with different core beliefs and mixed beliefs, and if we are divided and there is no unity among us, that would be representation of a house divided against itself. And Matthew 12:25 reads as follows, And Yahushua knew their thoughts and said to him, Every reign divided against itself is laid waste, and every city or house divided against itself shall not stand. So if there's chaos, turmoil, catastrophes occurring, my brothers and sisters, and we gather with people that have different core beliefs, and there becomes a shortage of food and fresh water, or not much room, what do you think would happen amongst a group of people with different beliefs, different convictions? Would they not fight and struggle and war to determine who gets to share in food rations, who gets to be under the roof of shelter, who gets to be in a place of safety? Would not there be people betraying one another? I would encourage you to examine these words carefully. Consider strongly, my brothers and sisters, getting to identify the core beliefs of one another, so that in the event of these catastrophic situations, these humbling events, we began to gather with people who have like convictions, whose goal is to serve the Most High Father, to worship Him, to obey Him, whose goals are to accept the guidance of Yahushua, to accept Yahushua as Messiah, as Mashyach. Since we are bombarded with explanations and predictions, please remember there is only one Almighty Elohim Yahuwah, and that He sent the Spirit of truth in His Son's name, Yahushua, to teach us and to bring things to remembrance. Our Mashyach, Messiah, will provide living instructions and guidance to those who would listen and see. He will also direct the footsteps of His appointed servants for leading Yashar'al into a more perfected condition and structure. And notice I stated a more perfected condition, meaning a state of improvement. I did not say that Yashar'al will be perfect, but we will continue to press into perfection as the Most High guides us. Please pay close attention to the words and communications used by me or any other. For many have been divided due to misunderstanding and or not listening accurately with precision. Do you believe that if times became extremely chaotic, that people will seek comfort among those they believe to be close, such as family, friends, neighbors, co-workers, etc.? If any of these individuals have different beliefs, how long do you think such a group will survive unified if there is limited food, fresh water, and places for shelter? What do you think the behavior of individuals as civil unrest and turmoil breaks out? What do you think that behavior will resemble? Have you ever heard the phrase, only the strong survive? Do you think that in the midst of chaos and civil unrest, societal uncertainty, that people will be fighting to be leaders of a group? Literally fighting, arguing. The next thing will become an important factor is place. Where to set up a stronghold in or a safe location to dwell in the midst of all of this chaos. You see, even though we may say a new world order, a new government, a world government will emerge, I believe, my brothers and sisters, I am compelled to believe with all my heart, with all my soul, that there would be a massive storm before it would be the calm, so to speak. In other words, even before a world dictator and a world government becomes clearly established, there will be much chaos. I am compelled to believe, just as many willingly gave themselves into slavery during the time of the massive famine when Joseph was around. If you look at Genesis 47 chapter, specifically the 19th verse, you'll see when they ran out of money, when they ran out of stuff to barter or sell for grain, they willingly gave themselves to slavery. My brothers and sisters, I ask again, have you heard the phrase, only the strong survive? Do you think in the midst of civil unrest and societal uncertainty, community breakdown, in the midst that we will see people struggling to establish order? I have created this message for you to consider these things in preparation for what's to come. Consider gathering some fresh water and sustainable, non-perishable foods in a bag, backpack, or at the very least, have something close by, something stored that you can put into some type of carrying bag in the event that you are abruptly forced to move. I honestly believe there will soon come a time of abrupt change and disruption that will result in people scrambling to establish a place of safety and order. People scrambling, trying to establish what group should be where and who should be among them. At least those who seek to worship Almighty Yahuwah and worship Him with all their mind, body, and soul. Those who accept Yahushua. But because of our degree of maturity or our uncertainty or where we are in our walk, there will be people scrambling. There will be those who have no faith, no beliefs whatsoever. But they will be scrambling in the midst of chaos and confusion and civil unrest. I say, my brothers and sisters, while many say, show me the script, or many say, prove it to me, while many say, well, that may be your opinion, look around, my brothers and sisters. Famine is increasing around us. Wars are increasing around us. Men, women, and children are losing all hope. Chaos is breaking out and increasing and will magnify. Yes, many of us seek and desire to see something phenomenal, something powerful, something that will let us know that the Most High is there, that the Most High is going to guide us. So I say to you, my brothers, if and only if, let me state this again, if and only if you believe the fulfillment of severe prophecies have begun to emerge, consider gathering towards the outermost part of your country that points to the area where we know as the Middle East. In other words, my brothers and sisters, if things start happening in a domino effect to an extreme where civil unrest, where wars, where storms, where economic collapse, I mean extreme civil unrest, things are happening one after another in such a domino effect. I'm saying at least consider having a ready mind to move towards the outer perimeter of the country you live that points towards the Middle East. As for those who are in the United States of America who represent an awakening nation of believers, I urge you, in the event of uncertainty, in other words, you displaced, you moved out of your home, your apartment, and I'm not saying foreclosed or evicted, and I'm not talking about just a tornado here or hurricane there or earthquake here and there. I'm talking about massive unrest, massive chaos due to something that happened abruptly that forces you, that forces me, that forces us to be shaken away from the very thing we know as our home or our place of residence. If you begin to see these things, consider taking heed to my words. Consider if you're in the United States moving towards Virginia. There will be those who will attempt to build and direct their groups in or camps as they believe or see fit, but I pray you at least take heed to these words. I am compelled, strongly influenced to encourage you to only consider these words if you believe the unfolding of predicted events have begun as a domino effect. Mainly events that forces you to be removed from your home, apartment, vehicle, tent, car, wherever you're staying. Whatever you consider a place of residence. And do not forget these words. The Spirit of Yahushua will provide guidance. He will provide living instruction and He will guide our footsteps. He is the priority in discovering where to go, what to do, how we should be governed, who to submit to, or who to lead or serve. I realize many will be uncertain, but if you are breathing and witness extreme events emerging, please consider these words. Again, I say if and only if it is obvious that the emergence of a world government is about to unfold. Remember, the Almighty Father has a timetable and does not have to ask our permission to execute His plans. So, my brothers and sisters, you pray. We serve a living Elohim. The Spirit of Yahushua is alive and well. He works in us towards one another. He communicates to us one towards another. He has the ability to open the mouth of a donkey or cause the rocks to cry out. Who will be able to discern righteous communications when it goes forth? Remember, everything is not written in a book. However, it must line up with righteous instruction and guidance. It must line up and not conflict with the written word. If this message has reached your ears and eyes, know that the power of Isaiah 55:11 is true, and that all and any righteous communication will be successful and not return to the Ancient of Days, of whom it originated. His words will not return empty nor void. They will accomplish the task that He has designed them. May Yahushua, our Mashyach, our Messiah, be lifted up in our worship and obedience to the Most High Father Yahuwah. Humbling events are coming, and whether we prepared or not, they will not tarry, pause, they will not stop nor retreat. These are the last days. These are end times. Many have not even given thought or prayer to what is the task that is expected of us. What is it that the Most High would have us to do while He has given us favor and mercy, while we have breath in a heartbeat? Know this: there is no obstacle strong enough. There is no one powerful enough. There is nothing that will stop what is to come. Consider these matters serious. We are at war. This is a battle, my brothers and sisters. It is not a game. Begin to get to know those who you believe to share the same core belief. Begin to get to know and ask questions and become closer to one another. You believe are family members. You believe are Yashar'al. You believe are individuals who truly, sincerely, and earnestly desire to worship and obey the Father, the Almighty Father Yahuwah. Take these days of mercy and favor and begin to get to know His voice, for these are the times where discernment will be muchly desired. Discernment will increase. What is discernment? Discernment is when the Spirit of Yahushua uncovers, reveals, make known to us His living instructions, His righteous guidance. Until next time, my brothers and sisters, until next time, if and only if you see simultaneous events happening one after another and you find yourself displaced, consider these words. Consider making direction towards a common place. Do not be overzealous or over anxious. Do not race prematurely or abruptly. But I am compelled to believe with all of my heart, with all of my breath, with all that is within me, that there will be steps and progress towards a safe place, a place for Yashar'al until the Mashyach's return. If and only if what unfolds is the emergence of a world dictator that many will call the beast. If and only if we see the anti-Messiah revealed. If and only if we see the two witnesses mentioned in Revelation. Whatever the case may be, if and only if, without a shadow of a doubt, within your heart, you believe things have begun to happen simultaneously and succinctly, know that there are messengers among us, there are watchmen among us. We serve a living Elohim. You be the judge. Pray on these matters, my brothers. These things must occur to fulfill all that is written. The fruit of man's rebellion has its place and its rewards or consequences. The bottom line is time will soon has a place as written by Scripture, and there will be an end to this rebellion, an end to this evil. For the Most High has a designated place for all of that, which is death. And for those who are alive, for those who have life, those who desire to worship and obey Him, those who choose earnestly and have accepted Yahushua, life everlasting. Well, my brothers and sisters, this special notice, this is what has been placed on my heart. All I can do is seek to walk and be obedient to whom I believe is guiding me and giving me breath. There's no other direction of which I can turn. So choose wisely what you're going to do. Choose wisely this day. For there may be some who may listen to this, and next week they may not even be alive. Next month they may not even be alive. I may not be alive, physically speaking. So let us make our decisions, and let us make them with a sound mind, with conviction of purpose. Until next time, my brothers and sisters, until next time, watch and behold the emergence of prophecy that have been foretold years ago. Until next time, shalom, shalom, shalom.